Hello, today we will be taking notes on the joy of working, 30-day system to success, wealth, and happiness. And yeah, this is going to be good for me because I want to be happy while I work. Alright, right here in the prologue, there's actually a really good tips and it's very mindset based. And again, these are just my notes here, but don't anticipate the worst, expect the best. A problem is a problem only if you want it to be. You can transform a problem into an opportunity. Focus on where you want to go rather than where you're coming from. Learn from your success as well as your mistakes. Real success has little to do with gifted, birth, outstanding talent, or high intelligence. It makes little difference what's happening out there. It's how you take it and what you make of it that counts. Happiness is not something owed to you. Nobody is handed joy on a silver platter. Instead, you make your own happiness. Knowing it is an attitude, a habit gained from daily practice. That's really insightful for me because I see so many happy coworkers and I'm like, how do they achieve this happiness? And I think it comes from practice, I think, a mindset, an attitude, choosing to be happy, and having a positive mindset that focuses on opportunities. This is really interesting right here. It says, the fundamental cornerstone of this system of finding joy in working is that it is self-esteem. There can be no progress in the workplace until an individual values himself or herself and feels valued by others. That's the foundation of all human fulfillment. That resonates very much with me. So how does one have self-esteem? Alright, so I just read this chapter and this is pretty good. So it's all about self-esteem. Individuals who enjoy their work develop strong beliefs of self-worth and self-confidence. Alright, and it takes practice. And it's not narcissistic or self-indulgent or arrogant. You basically appreciate the value of yourself as a unique human being with your own special talents. And so you should say to yourself that you are a most valuable person in your work and repeat it. And don't downplay yourself and your abilities. And once you do that, you can find value in others as well. Now, some barriers to this is that there's two things. One is failure reinforcement, the habit of looking back at past problems, and failure forecasting, the habit of imagining the worst in the future. And this is something that I think we just have to stop ourselves from doing. And you just shouldn't put yourself down, even though this might be a common mindset that even myself I can relate with. The cool part of this is that self-esteem takes practice, and no matter how long it takes or how tough it may be at times, you can learn to believe in yourself. Now, here's an interesting mindset is at work you have to get away with the philosophy of getting away with the most while doing the least possible, which they say is just a negative approach to your work and it depletes your sense of self-esteem. And so what's important is that you try your best, always. And there's some actually really actionable tips here. They say to always greet your coworkers and everybody with a smile because a smile establishes your own self-worth and shares it with others. And strangely, I think that's true. When I'm feeling good about myself, I'm smiling, and when I'm feeling bad about myself, I'm more reserved. And always say thank you when you're praised, as opposed to making up an excuse saying that you don't deserve the praise. And also, you don't have to wear the labels that others try to give you, because self esteem comes from within. And also, staying away from pity parties and gripe sessions, because you're climbing aboard a sinking ship and you just want to surround yourself with people who enjoy their work. So this part is really big for me. It says you can feel self-esteem even though you may not have done anything yet, but simply because you have the capability for it. And that's big because I don't think self-esteem should be relative. So in other words, I don't know, even if you're hanging out with high-ranking people around you, you should still have self-esteem, because it is something that you believe you have inside within you, even though it may not have yet been expressed. And so I feel like, contrary to organizational structure, there is no hierarchical system with self-esteem. Everybody should view themselves as a most valuable person. And one last point on self-esteem that resonates with me is that it says to believe in yourself no matter how long it takes or how tough it may seem at times. So that to me means don't focus on the negatives. It's almost like you're not truly objectively looking at yourself, because you're basically focusing on positives that can happen and that you believe will happen, and ignoring negatives. So it's not like an empirical analysis of yourself, but more based on the notion of hope and self-belief and perseverance. At least that's how I'm interpreting it. And I suppose that's why it takes